All right, our next speaker is Robert Fraher, and factors related to opportunities for collaboration in makerspaces.
All right. Hello, and welcome to Factors Related to Opportunities for Collaboration in Makerspaces. My name is Robert Fraher. I'm a faculty member at UW Stout. Before I go any further, I want to give a quick shout out to my co-author, Dr. Julie Peterson, who's not able to be with us here today. So roughly 15 years ago, my initial exposure to Makerspaces was in participation in an all-night hackathon that was meant to benefit local nonprofit companies. Now, since then, I've become really interested in what I've started referring to as informal creative environments. And in particular, what I'm interested in is what allows some of these environments to facilitate really productive collaboration with very little organization. Okay? Now, Makerspaces in 2019 come in many flavors, shapes, and sizes. I have been fortunate enough over the last couple of years to be able to visit, study, and actually live in several makerspaces. And in my conversations with the people who populate these environments, two ideas rise to the top. Those are community and collaboration. Now, I don't know if a sense of community inspires opportunities to collaborate, or if the reverse is true, if opportunities to collaborate actually build a sense of community, or if in fact they're caused by something else entirely. But these ideas have led to a specific research question. What are the key factors related to the development of a sense of community in collaborative makerspaces that I've been investigating over the last couple of years? Now, in 2015, I was fortunate enough to be able to embed myself as an artist in residence at Standard Projects, which is a small maker studio about 3 hours away from my university. And while there, I was able to participate with the other artists in residence in looking at reflecting on what we were making and why. So I went down there and I made with these people, as well as the studio's broader social network, and I interviewed people as we went, thinking about how we felt, the things that were factoring into who was giving opportunities to others to collaborate, etc. And what we came up with was three main ideas: skill, instruction, and emotion. Now, each of these break down in a little bit different way. Taking skill to begin with, the idea of skill breaks down in terms of types of skills that each community member presents. Okay, whether it be woodworking or metalworking or painting, etc. And then there's the idea of the proficiency spectrum, right? Is a skill fairly brand new to an individual, or in fact have they been working with it and they're for years and are quite adept with it? Now, in addition to that, we looked at, are people providing or receiving instruction? Is the nature of that instruction applied, hands-on, or conceptual, hands-off? And then likewise, how deep is it? Is surface level instruction, or is it fairly significant? And then there's the third component, which is this idea of emotion. The qualitative aspect is meant to try and get at the type of emotional interactions people have with each other and the artifacts that they're making. And the intrinsic component is supposed to try and address the internal connection to one's creative process. So what I did was I took these as the framework for a matrix and built a couple of surveys for a follow-up study. Now, this follow-up study was conducted last summer through a study abroad program that I was thankfully able to put together through my university, which was called Visual Language Design in Holland. So these are the students. All participation was optional. All students elected to participate. And we, in addition to actually studying visual language design, conducted a small study throughout our activities. Now, the structure of the course allowed students formal ways to collaborate, such as library research or field research, conceptual brainstorming, visual design activities, and then also production. We actually had to make some things along the way. In addition to that, there were also informal or extracurricular activities to collaborate, including wayfinding, scheduling, and event planning. Students actually put on their own exhibition to showcase the work that we made along the way. Now, this slide is an opportunity to showcase some of that. These are serigraphy or screen prints. Really, the purpose of the slide is just to make up for the next slide, which is in fact a screenshot of the raw data from the surveys. So my co-author and I were able to parse this data and identified two key findings, okay? And then what makes these key findings is they actually correlate with the findings from the pilot study that was conducted at Standard Projects. Now, first of those is that there seems to be a correlation between a person's participation in instruction, giving or receiving, and their sense of community or connectedness to the community. And then there's a consistent importance being placed on a person's internal or intrinsic motivation, their connection to their creative practice. So the reason I'm here is to share these findings with you all. You all have your own communities. You all have your own experiences. What I need is your help in refining this matrix before I test it again. So I would welcome the opportunity to talk with you about your experiences in your communities, and maybe we can work together. Thank you.